Time for the big conversation. An ordinary chat show with extraordinary people. The big conversation. Let's go.
You're obviously worried about my posture and you give me some chiropractic help because it's very rigid, but it looks cool.
It does look cool, and you look very tall, Sam.
Yeah. Now you're making me feel good as well.
I need to set up like this now. Okay, so looking back at your life before your rugby career, what was the dream for Lee Mears as a child?
Oh, crikey. Well, I'm a Devon boy originally, right, South Devon, and big footballing country, so I probably wanted to be a footballer.
I think everyone wanted to be a footballer.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah. So that's where, that was sort of my early dreams. Then I started to, I love flying, and I went into the Air Cadets, managed to go in.
How old were you at that age?
About 14. So a bit of discipline, and that was my sort of, that was my career path really. I started to realise that I loved rugby, I loved sport, I loved travel. I hadn't got to go to many countries, but Mum and Dad had got us away on holiday a few times. And I was looking at a job that combined a bit of travel, a bit of sport, and a bit of flying, and the military looked like that's where I was heading.
Okay, cool. So we're talking about discipline.
Yes.
As a child, what was the thing that you got in trouble the most for?
Oh God, I was mischievous, very, very mischievous, and
At home or at school?
At both. Yeah, I think I do remember my mum going in for a parents' evening, and one of the teachers saying that he's got a very cheeky smile, but if I could boil him in oil, I would. So yes,
pretty savage.
Yeah, it was pretty savage. So I don't think I was. Yeah, I was mischievous. I wasn't naughty, but I was cheeky.
The joker of the class.
Yeah. Very chopsy.
So you said about the military.
Yeah.
When was it you first really fell in love with rugby?
Oh, crikey.
When you knew that it was, the path.
Yeah. It's very difficult because I think you love rugby from the minute, apart from when it's cold and wet and you're getting beaten.
In December.
Yeah, exactly. But as a kid, I loved playing it. I started to make really good friends. I didn't realise that I was good at rugby probably until I was about 15, 16, when schools started to say, oh, do you want to come and play here? And there's a trial and you can get picked for this. I was just on this journey of, oh, these are new people, these are mates. But then I suppose when I went to Colston's, a school in Bristol, I got a scholarship after playing for England under 16s, and we were rugby mad, and I boarded, so I eat, slept, drunk, rugby, cricket, football. So I think that's when I fell in love with the idea of actually, if I work hard, it's easy to work hard at something you love. Yeah. And there is I think it went professional in 1996. And so it was all of a sudden, you don't have to go into military, you could be a pro rugby player.
Yeah. So obviously Bath was your main home during your professional career.
Yeah.
Tell us as fans what it was like running out onto the rec for the very first time as a professional.
Yeah, I waited a long time.
Yeah.
I was sort of in the trenches for about 4 years, sat behind Freddie Mendes, Jonathan Humphreys, Mark Regan, Andy Long, all international hookers. So when I finally got to run out and you hear the crowd, Friday night games in Bath are super special. You love a Saturday, but there's something about Friday night because it's dark, under the lights, all of the beautiful monuments are lit up around Bath, the town's buzzing. So I think, it's like Twickenham. You get that hair on the back of your neck. It's an amazing feeling, and you never lose that.
Okay, so across your entire career, obviously you said about travel, flying, and you love sport in general. What's your favourite part of being a professional rugby player?
Oh,
all the things that come along with it.
Yeah.
What is your favourite aspect of being a professional?
Oh, there's loads, isn't there? It's a good question. I think definitely seeing the world. That's a massive driver for me. People ask me what my favourite ground is, and South Africa, Durban, is a place called Kings Park. which the whole experience of the international professional rugby, where you wake up in the morning in Durban and 9 times out of 10 the sun's shining. You're always in a wonderful hotel on a beach. So that you go down at Twickenham, you sort of warm up at Penny Hill and it's snowing and it's raining on you. In Durban, you go, oh, let's go down, warm our hands up on the beach in the sunshine. And then you go to Kings Park and they have all the local rugby clubs on the outside of the ground have barbecues and parties. So as you're walking in, there's already a party atmosphere. You play this monumental test, which is against the South Africans. They try and beat the living daylights out of you. It's quite intimidating. They don't, they're as close to a football crowd as you get, quite hostile.
Quite rowdy.
But afterwards, they are the most hospitable people in the world. So you then try and get back to the team bus, and everyone wants a beer with you. Everyone wants to give you a hot dog. It's the most amazing thing. I mean, I remember my dad coming to watch me for the first time in South Africa, and he sort of said he was intimidated, and then, but afterwards, he literally, I think he was given 5 beers, 4 hot dogs before he, he was, afterwards. So I think that whole experience of good people, good food and travel, but I think that it's definitely the travel for me. I mean, I've got to see some wonderful, wacky places, and you do it in style.
I guess, on the contrary to that, most frustrating moment.
Oh, God.
Or off the pitch?
Yes, I think anytime you get injured is very frustrating because it's literally, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't train, you can't play. So I snapped a bicep off the bone. It was my first serious injury, and I did all the rehab, I did everything properly. I got back playing, and with 8 weeks I snapped the other one on a stupid tackle as well, something that I didn't need to do. And so I think injuries are the sort of the most frustrating bits. Losing in a final, I think, is definitely a killer. We lost to...
That kills everyone, even in school.
Oh, yeah. You never let it go, do you? Yeah. Let it go, Mears. But no, we lost to Leeds in a final, and we lost to Wasps in a final. And yeah, it hurts because it's all that work. And it's on the one flip of a coin. One bad decision and you end up losing a game. So
could also be the best moments of your career.
Exactly, and that's why we that's why we love sport, is the highs and lows. I've got 2 analogies. One, people might sort of empathise with and understand. People that didn't enjoy school probably won't, but those years at school where you're loving life, basically that with loads of extras is what it's like playing pro sport and playing in, because you get told what to eat, where to be, at what time, what to wear. You don't have to think for yourself.
What your bedtime is.
Yeah, what your bedtime is. I always sort of joked with my missus, and when you come home after being sort of at 6 Nations, and she sort of says, what do you want for tea? And you go, oh, I have to think about what I want for tea. Normally I just walk up and go, oh, that looks nice, that looks nice. So I think there's those little perks, but I think, they're the fun small bits, but I think actually representing a body of people and trying to make them proud or have them really get behind you is something special. I mean, we are,
feeling a nation behind you must feel
it's massive, I mean, we're very tribal, aren't we? And I'm very patriotic, and so I get behind England now, and to realise that I had an effect on people where they would travel across the world to come and watch you play. It's pretty special,
So across your career, did you find anything that inspired you in particular to really keep working hard? I know you said that it took you a while to break into the bar team.
Yeah.
Did that inspire you to keep really working hard throughout your career, and maybe when you pushed into the England team?
Yeah, I think so. Again, I don't want to harp on about the travel, but that whole, getting to see the world, all of a sudden you think, well, I've played for England, and then they say, oh, there's a tour to New Zealand. Oh, I want to go there. Oh, there's a tour to South Africa. The next Lions tour is South Africa. So that for me was a big sort of like, this is amazing. Yeah, I want to do that. I met some very inspirational people along the way, because the beauty of being a pro sportsman is you get to go out and you get to meet people, whether that was going to a hospital to see kids that had serious injuries, or going to a hospice where people don't have long to live. But when you see the impact that you have on people, then you start to go, this is bigger than just a game and having a laugh with your mates.
Take you back, I think, sometimes.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I mean, and so those guys, when, you know, and we met military guys that, you know, sort of said, oh, we're so similar, the military and sport, and you're like, no, if I make a mistake, a few thousand people abuse me in a paper, you make a mistake and you die, you know. But those are the kind of guys that you meet them and you just go, wow, you know, this is a big world. We're, you know, amazing people, and there's lots of people out there doing crazy stuff, and you get to meet them.
It's fantastic. I hope you don't mind me asking, but what was your first reaction when you were told that by doctors that you shouldn't really be playing anymore?
Well, at first, being a rugby player with our sense of humour, you're like, yeah.
Good one.
Oh, seriously? Yeah, it was definitely one of those moments, and you know, when it gets explained to you about how working hard can cause an issue, and I sort of say, well, I don't work that hard. I stand on the wing. Have you not watched me play? And you sort of deal with everything as you do with rugby. As you deal with, you know, as a bit of a joke, but then it sinks in, and yeah, it was a shock. It was a big shock. But I had a wonderful network around me. I had some good coaching from guys to sort of say, look, you know, you're 34, you're old anyway. So
in
the politest way, yeah. But that's how you deal with it. So yeah, I had a great network that sort of got me through that time.
I guess linking on from that, would you like to just tell us a bit about what you do with the British Heart Foundation?
Yeah, I mean, the BHF, British Heart Foundation, is a fantastic charity, mainly because you just don't realise, I mean, and I haven't got the statistics now, but it's something crazy, like 7 people a week die through having a heart issue playing sport. And I always say that someone who can do a job and play sport at the same time, whether you're a young guy, university, whether you've got a full-time job and, you know, you're 30, 40 still turning out, those are the kind of guys that we want in society, because that's, you know, that's a hard thing to do. I didn't have to do that. Rugby was a job and I didn't have to do anything on the outside. So guys that are doing that and then can pass away and leave mums, dads, families behind, and all it is just a checkup. You know, you get checked up. If you've got an issue, most of the issues can be solved, and so the BHF are basically creating awareness that for £35, £40 on someone who's over the age of 15, have that test, and you'll know then that you're going to be completely fine, or if it does flag something up, probably saving your life, and you can still, you know, you can probably take medication, have an operation, and go back to sport.
So it's all about awareness, really.
Just, yeah, complete awareness.
So nowadays, obviously, you played in was it a charity match last week?
Yes, yeah.
Would you say that do you have to watch now how much exercise you do in terms of working out? Or
Yeah.
is it more a case of just adjusting your regime to maybe a different way of doing things?
Yeah, you just have to adjust. So I think that what was explained to me is that the normal person can train once a day, at the most 3 times a week, you know, because you start to get very busy. Whereas we were hitting 200 beats a minute, you know, 3 times a day, and that,
pretty intense.
Yeah, and that, you know, when you looked at it, and I wore a 24-hour tape for the week, and you start realising, hang on a minute, you know, you're putting your body through a lot of stress, and that's, you know, that was one of the reasons why it was time to stop.
So we spoke about your inspirations earlier in terms of travelling the world, meeting new people. Now that you're not playing,
yeah.
Do you have any new inspirations or new goals?
Yeah,
in particular?
I think being a sportsman, you've got a pretty addictive personality, and you're always searching for that. I mean, I've been to the North Pole. There's a chance that next year we're going to set another world record at Everest. So yeah, so I still do those sort of crazy things. But at the moment, skiing is my new passion. I'm, you know, built low to the ground. Low centre of gravity, and we seem to bounce.
Using it to my
Falling
advantage. Doesn't hurt as much.
No, exactly. And there's no such thing as falling, is it? It's just pirouetting elegantly. The skis going everywhere. But at the moment, yeah, I'm trying to get into skiing. Yeah.
That's your main hobby.
Yes, yeah.
Well, I was going to say, following on from that, what do you do in your spare time? But obviously now
Well,
I'm
I'm
a professional skier.
Yeah, that's what my missus is. My good lady wife would say. What other hobbies have I got? I've got 3 boys, so trying to be a good dad to those. I mean, my dad was amazing for me. Followed me all over the place. He, you know, took me on my paper rounds so that I could go to training, all that kind of stuff. So if I can be half as good a dad as he was to me, then I'm doing a good job. So they're probably my other hobby. talk about them
I
like
imagine
pets.
They
But
inspire you to do.
yes, yeah. I mean, being 2 and 4. I mean, the 10-year-old, we're very active, but the 2
You're a
and
rugby player?
he's doing a bit of everything at the moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's way more sporty than me. So he's obviously got some skills from his mum.
Maybe he'll be a professional skier as well.
Yes, exactly.
Well, I think that's about all we need to cover.
Cool.
Cheers for being with us.
No worries. Thanks for having me on.
No worries.